Hey, how you doing today? I am Taquila Coleman. In today's video, we're going to talk about 17 signs God is working when witchcraft is involved. So, the first sign you can look for that would tell you that God is working on your behalf when witchcraft is involved is God will come in and he will begin to expose the lies of the enemy to your spouse. When we talk about witchcraft, we're talking about manipulation, okay? Witchcraft is manipulation, right? It's the enemy behind the scenes manipulating everything, right? So, if throughout this process, your name was slandered, you were falsely accused, and let's say all of this can't get back to your prodigal spouse, only for them to believe the lies of the enemy. Understand it, no? And you can have faith in this that God will clear your name. God will come in and He will expose the enemy's lies. Okay. Now, here's the thing. I need you to understand one of the ways how God will bring exposure to the enemy, because whatever the enemy has said about you to your prodigal, that was a lie. Listen, when God began to instruct you, the believing spouse, and when He give you instruction, when He tell you start this business, when He tell you write that book, when He tell you, stop contacting them or operate this way, understand He's telling you this for a reason, because you never know. It might be in you starting that business where God is going to use you to expose all the lies of the enemy. Okay, so don't overthink what God tells you and what He instructs you. Just do it, because God see all, He know all, He heard the conversation that was here about you behind your back, so He know exactly what He's doing. And I'm telling you, He will vindicate you. He will show your prodigal what they said about my chosen one was a lie. Okay, He will allow your prodigal to see it for themselves. Okay, so number one, God will expose the lies of the enemy to your prodigal. Number two, the second sign God is working when witchcraft is involved. So if, let's say, there was a love spell placed on your prodigal. Now, as that love spell begins to wear off, if you are wondering, well, how can I partner with God in getting this love spell off of my prodigal, just go ahead and go on a fast and begin to ask God to break and destroy all love spells and separation spell placed on you and your prodigal. Okay, but as this love spell begins to wear off of your prodigal, whoever placed that love spell on your prodigal, as it begins to wear off, that means your prodigal is now waking up, and they are now seeing who they chose. They are now seeing, they are now like coming back to their mind, and they realizing, certain things. And they also realizing, let's say it was the counterfeit witch, okay, who put this love spell on your prodigal. As it wears off, your prodigal is now coming back and realizing, I don't like this individual. I never liked this individual, and so they would begin to get angry towards the counterfeit witch, okay, because their true feelings for this counterfeit is coming back, okay, and so there was a point when the love spell was successfully placed on your prodigal, where your prodigal directed that anger towards you. You probably seen disgust written all over your prodigal face, right? And it probably caused you to believe that your prodigal doesn't like you, doesn't even find you attractive, right? But when that love spell begins to wear off, you're going to see that anger now being redirected towards that counterfeit witch. They're going to be disgusted with that counterfeit. They're going to, begin to see clearly, and they're going to be upset with themselves because now they see what they chose over their God ordained. Okay, so understand and know that anger, you will see anger directed towards the one who placed that love spell on your prodigal. The third sign you want to begin to look for to let you know God is working when witchcraft is involved. Your prodigal will, and when God steps in and corrects your prodigal, and reveals certain things about you to your prodigal, they will feel remorseful. They will begin to regret how they treated you in the past because they were wrong about you. And it's going to take God to come in and reveal certain things to your prodigal. Okay, God doesn't want you trying to vindicate your own name. He don't want you trying to prove yourself to your prodigal. When the enemy lie on you, let them lie. Okay, because God is going to come in and bring correction to the enemies and to your prodigal. Okay, so you will see remorseful written all over your prodigal's face. Okay, and remorseful can look like your prodigal avoiding you. Your prodigal can't look you in the face. Your prodigal don't want to talk. Okay. The fourth sign God is working when witchcraft is involved is that, again, as that witchcraft, the attacks or the spells begin to wear off, okay, your spouse will begin to try to protect you the best way they know how, okay? Because there's things your prodigal know that you don't know. When the enemy or the counterfeit realizes that your spouse is waking up and they about to make their way back to their God ordained, the counterfeit or the enemy will begin to threaten and try to blackmail your spouse. They will begin to threaten and tell your spouse, if you go back to your God ordained, I'm going to hurt or harm them. And so because your prodigal know this and probably believe it, not knowing that God is protecting the God ordained, your prodigal would try their best to protect you the best way they know how. So they would try to keep you away. They would even stay away from you because they know what the enemy whisper in their ear. Okay. So this is where you're gonna have to just use discernment and not take offense to your prodigal staying away, and just understand it's something else at play here that I know nothing about, I can't see, but my prodigal is fully aware of it. And so this is, his or her way of trying to protect me. Okay. Number five, the fifth sign God is working with witchcraft is involved. Understand and know that even in the witchcraft, okay, God will still promote his believing spouse right in front of those who are doing the witchcraft on you. He sure will. He will begin to promote you. But now let me be clear about this, because in order for God to promote you, you have to be following God's instruction, God ordained, believing spouse. You got to follow God's instruction in order for him to raise you up and promote you. If God is giving you instruction and you keep ignoring it, you keep procrastinating, you overthinking it, he can't promote you. He can't vindicate your name. So the enemy is still going to feel like they winning. So again, be obedient to whatever instruction God is telling you to do. Just do it. Start the business. Launch that ministry. Write that book. Apply for that promotion on the job so that God can elevate you right in the midst of those who are trying to attack you. Okay. Number six, the sixth sign God is working when witchcraft is involved. The enemy will tell on themselves. So I remember, I think it was last year. Yeah, it was last year. I remember running into one of my attackers. I didn't know they was attacking me, but I ran into one of my attackers and they began to talk about some of the things that was happening in my home, which caught my attention. And it revealed to me in that moment, oh, you are the one who's attacking me and sending these things into my home. Okay. So the enemy would even tell on themselves. Okay. And it's a sign of mockery. They, that's their way of mocking you, letting you know, like, I'm behind the scenes attacking you, you know. So, but even in that, right, God just exposed the enemy to you, and so you should already know how to move in prayer. Okay. But the enemy will tell on themselves to let you know in their own way they are the ones attacking you. Okay. Number seven, God would also reveal the person or the people that's attacking you in your dreams. Okay. So even, if you are up under marine attacks, God will reveal to you whoever it is that's attacking you. He will reveal the witch doctor. He will reveal, okay, the people who are monitoring you in your dream, but you got to know what to look for. Okay. So all of this is God working because he's revealing this to you in your dreams so that you can wake up, okay, begin to cancel it, rebuke it, right? Begin to, ask God to destroy every attack of the enemy, right? This is why he's waking you up, okay? And also come out of covenant because it came through the dream, come out of covenant with whatever was shown to you in that dream, okay? The eighth sign God is working when witchcraft is involved is that God will begin to teach you how to fight spiritually. And the way how God teaches us, he will send his prophets who will say to you, get on your post, okay? He will send, okay, people across your path that would teach you how to pray, that would teach you what to pray, okay? So don't overlook all of this, okay? This is why we have during our God ordained marriage fast, this is why we break the curse every month. This is part of warfare. This is how we fight. Okay. So God will teach you how to fight spiritually. Number nine, the ninth sign God is working when witchcraft is involved. God will separate you from the enemy. And if the enemy turn out to be your prodigal spouse, God will place a boundary concerning you. Okay, He will place a boundary between you and your prodigal, where your prodigal, I don't know if they would be able to articulate, you know, what is going on here, but the spirit would know it. Okay, the evil spirits would know I can't cross this line. This is only as far as I can go. Okay, I'll give you an example. God has given me a boundary with you know, this one particular person who was attacking me, to where whenever this person would come to my house, they could never come inside. God stopped them from coming inside my house. They would always sit in the car. And so that was letting me know right there. God just gave that individual, well, the spirit, it's the spirit in the person. God gave that spirit a boundary. It's like a fire He'll put around your house or even you, where the enemy can't even come. He can't come near. It's like certain amount of feet the enemy can come near you. Okay, but God will He will separate you from the enemy. So that's that divine separation, and He will also give your spouse a boundary concerning you. He will let your spouse know if your spouse turned out to be the enemy. He will let your spouse know his standard. If you want my child, if you want my son or daughter, you have to get in alignment. You got to get your life in order. You got to, become this man or this woman if you want what I have. Okay. So again, you may still see your spouse with the counterfeit. Okay. Don't get upset thinking and don't assume, oh, they love them. My spouse love the counterfeit. They look happy. No, it could just be God gave he or she a boundary and they getting themselves ready even while they with this counterfeit. Okay. Number 10, the 10th sign God is working when witchcraft is involved. The enemy love to put your pictures and even your children's picture on these evil altars to attack you. Okay. So if you praying against this stuff, if you asking God remove my picture, my children's picture, and even my spouse picture off of these evil altars, God will remove them off of the altars. He will remove your picture, your children's picture, and even your spouse picture off of these evil altars. Okay. Number nine. The night the I said number nine, 11. Number 11, the 11th sign God is working when witchcraft is involved. God will instruct you, okay, to get rid of certain items from your home. And the reason why God is telling you get rid of this item is because that item might be a cursed item, okay? That cursed item is giving the enemy legal right to attack you, to attack your God ordained marriage. So when God begin to tell you to go ahead and clean out your house and get rid of some things, do it. He's helping you to close these doors to the enemy. That's giving the enemy legal right to attack you, your spouse, and this marriage promise. Okay. Number 12, the 12th sign God is working when witchcraft is involved. God also will separate you from those who are attacking you. So not only does God, places you and your spouse in a divine separation, He will separate you from family members and friends. Whoever is a threat to His God ordained marriage, whoever is at these evil altars attacking you, and you're unaware, God will separate you from them. He will begin to tell you, let that individual go. He will expose their motives to you. He would even, if you hard headed, he would even cause that evildoer, the person you call family and friend, he would even cause them to betray you or reject you, or they just stop calling you. They would leave you alone. Okay. So God will begin to separate you from those who are attacking you. Okay. Number 13, the 13th sign God is working when witchcraft is involved. Um, when you pray, okay, when you begin to pray and ask God to destroy monitoring spirits into your home, destroy monitoring spirit, that are operating through people, and you actually see, because when you pray, God, destroy these monitoring spirits sent to my property, sent to infiltrate my household, and you wake up in the morning only to see all these dead bugs right in the kitchen, right? You already know that those were monitoring spirits. Or if you pray, God, destroy these monitoring spirit, that are operating through the people close to me, and these people now, begin to leave your group, or they begin to, they no longer want to be around you again. That's because they were sent on assignment. They wasn't aware of it, but these individuals had a monitoring spirit in them. Okay. The 14th sign, God is working when witchcraft is involved. God would even tell you. He would let you know all throughout this process. Your prodigal was manipulated. Okay. Because witchcraft, again, witchcraft, it manipulates things. Evil spirits love to hide out. Okay. They cause all these problems, and they want us to focus on the person, versus the evil spirit. And they want us to think this is the person attacking us. This is the person who is against us. The person doesn't like you. The person hates you, when really it's a spirit. It's the stuff that's going on behind the scene that you can't see, right? So God will continue to tell you. He will advocate on your spouse's behalf. He will let you know they were manipulated, and he'll break it down to you. Okay. But you just got to be listening, and you got to receive what God is telling you when he tells you this. Okay. It was manipulation. Understand, when God say it was manipulation, he's talking about the things you cannot see. Evil spirits, their whole goal, okay, let's say it's a spirit of pride in your prodigal. Well, if the spirit is inside of your prodigal, then you're going to see your prodigal behaving according to that spirit. They're going to be very prideful. If there's a lust spirit, you're going to see your prodigal very lustful, right? If it's a critical spirit, your prodigal will become very critical. Okay. So love the person, but hate the spirit. All right. The 15th sign, God is working when witchcraft is involved. God will make your enemies, the ones who were attacking you in the past, some of them, not all, but he would make some of them to be at peace with you. He would. He would make some of them to be at peace with you. Because God is always working, so he's bringing correction. You know, he might even have to heal some of their heart, just so that they can begin to see you correctly. Okay, but some of your enemies who attacked you in the past, they would now be at peace with you. They probably would even sit and say to themselves, I don't know why I didn't like him or her. They cool. You see? So just understand, when you see this because God is working on your behalf. Okay. Number 16, the 16th sign, God is working when witchcraft is involved. God will begin to show you your attacker's judgment. He will reveal to you, if some of them are going to die. He will show you in your dream their destruction. Okay. It's really their judgment. Okay. He will show you what's going to happen to these very people. He's letting you know. And when he allowed for you to see your attacker's judgment, because usually God would show us this probably like a year ahead of time before it happened. God already know this evildoer. I has warned this evildoer over and over, but they won't stop. And so as a result of them not stopping, this is going to be their judgment. Okay. And the 17th sign, God is working when witchcraft is involved, because witchcraft is designed to block you, stop you, delay you, hold you back, things of that nature, right? But God will catch you up. Wherever the enemy tried to create delay, God will catch you up. Okay. So it's like when you start praying and breaking these curses off your life, you rebuking these demons, and you just really on your prayer post, and you're doing all the right thing, God will catch you up. He will allow acceleration to hit your life. Okay. So don't worry. So these are the 17 signs God is working, even when witchcraft is involved. Okay. What God has joined together, let no man separate. God, God's God ordained marriages are coming to pass full circle. Okay. So believe it, receive it. I am Taquila Coleman. I'll talk to you real soon. Take care.